Hello, my name is Selene Swanson, and I'm excited to share my research with you. In the last 6 months, political polarization has come to a head in the United States. From protests outside polling places to a frontal assault on the US Capitol, Americans have been shocked by the recent intensity of partisan conflict in our country. But this isn't a new problem. Political polarization has been growing for years in the United States. Growing effective political polarization poses 3 main threats to the United States. First, polarization empowers foreign disinformation. Foreign disinformation campaigns take advantage of the lack of social trust engendered by severe affective political polarization. Americans are more willing to believe fake news about their political opponents or messages that challenge their claims, which they then amplify on social media. In this manner, successful disinformation campaigns create a vicious cycle of increasing polarization. Second, polarization threatens our democratic institutions. When partisans believe their enemies are evil, they're more willing to consider anti-democratic means of defeating them. Both Republicans and Democrats display something called democratic hypocrisy, which means they support violations of democratic norms when it helps their side. And national polling shows increased tolerance for political violence in the United States. Finally, polarization endangers the United States' ability to promote democracy, capitalism, and free trade around the world. Infighting and unrest within the United States limits the country's ability to respond quickly to global crises. In the absence of strong leadership from the United States, Washington should expect increased Chinese dominance on the world stage. Effective political polarization concerns social identity and the degree to which a partisan likes their own party and dislikes the other. In the United States, Democrats and Republicans increasingly dislike members of the opposing party. This graph, which uses data from the Pew Research Center, shows how partisans' ratings of how negatively they feel towards members of the opposite party have risen over the last 2 decades. Between 1994 and 2016, the percentage of partisans who felt very unfavorable towards members of the other party rose by about 37 percentage points. Not only do Americans dislike people from the opposing party, they actively avoid them. Party affiliation increasingly dictates Americans' choice of friends and partners. Between 1950 and 2008, there was a marked increase in the number of partisans who reported that they would feel displeased if their child married someone belonging to the opposite political party. Social distance is accelerating. By 2010, almost half of Republicans and a third of Democrats reported that they were somewhat or very unhappy with the idea of inter-party marriage. Partisans' unwillingness to come into contact with one another may also explain why they vastly overestimate their differences in identity, income, and ideology. Effective political polarization is now the most salient social cleavage in the United States. Americans consistently rate members of the opposing political party lower than members of different religions and races. Additionally, data shows that the United States is polarizing more quickly than other Western democracies and is beginning to more closely resemble developing democracies like Poland. Most of the current research on polarization has focused on the national level, but there's an important opportunity to combat effective political polarization at the local level. Local governments should introduce deliberative forums to bring partisans in their communities into contact with one another. Research has consistently shown that contact reduces prejudice and stereotyping between people of different races and ethnicities, sexualities, and abilities. Deliberative forums around the world have been shown to have an impact on effective political polarization. A deliberative poll conducted at the national level in fall 2020 saw ratings of partisans rise an average of 13 points, with the largest increases among the most polarized partisans. So why start at the local level? The introduction of local deliberative forums would reverse the nationalization of local politics, grounding discussions of local issues in fact, not identity, and giving neighbors of different political stripes the opportunity to see each other as partners facing a common set of problems. The model for cooperation created by these forums will set an example that extends beyond the boundaries of the towns they're held in. And it's not only participants in the forum that may experience a change in their outlook. Researchers in Pittsburgh also observed increased understanding between experts from opposing sides who were tasked with creating a joint briefing document for the forum. Deliberative forums also may change the outlook of non-participating members of the community by providing an example of cross-partisan cooperation. People are likely to see the results of that local cooperation in their daily lives. Local deliberative forums promise to be a powerful weapon in the fight against effective political polarization. Without the introduction of innovative measures like this one, the United States will become even more polarized and jeopardize its position at home and abroad. This initiative cannot be delayed, not only because of the growing threat of effective polarization, but also because geographic polarization is decreasing the number of politically divided towns where this kind of contact and deliberation is possible. This graphic shows the increasing number of counties with landslide elections in 2016 versus 1992. Local policymakers must act now to secure their communities' futures. Thank you.